not only how to get the most efficient use of your tax dollar. That is our number one mantra, but also it's ease of accessibility to government services. That is something that we have worked on for the past 5 years, and one of the things that when we first came into office we said it should be easy to do business with the government. It should not be something that you dread on a day-to-day basis. So today is big for us because we're talking about our one-stop shop process in which now you can get building permits, and you can get building permits without coming in and going through the process of, Randy, where did we used to have to start off? We started off at inspections, and then we went over to natural resources, and then we went to engineering, and then you went to planning, and then you went to another place. And there were about five or six places to stop along the way. And now we have a one-stop. So you can come, you can turn in your material in one place, it automatically disseminates out to everybody else, and it makes the process much easier, and it's called ease of accessibility to government. So this is a big day for contractors, it's a big day for developers doing business with the city, but it's also a big day for your citizen who's out there trying to get a permit, because they can use that in the permitting process and make sure that they get a permit on a very easy basis. Prior to this system, our contractors and our individual permit holders would have to go to a number of departments to get approval through the permitting process. And now using a new software called SIRE, S-I-R-E, is it SIRE or SIRE, guys? SIRE, okay. Using our new software called SIRE, contractors, architects, engineers can submit their projects online 24 hours a day without ever having to go to planning, zoning, inspections, engineering, traffic engineering, water pollution control, flood development, fire prevention, natural resources, Huntsville Utilities, and the Madison County Health Department, which were some of the stops that you had to make along the way. So now you can see how one-stop shop cuts through the red tape, saves time, saves guesswork, provides greater transparency, saves money, and provides customers with better service. And I want to thank Randy Cunningham and all of your crew in the inspections department, and I know that you'll want to recognize them when you come up, for the suggestion of the one-stop shop and pushing it forward. And for our IT department, who has worked hard in making sure that the SIRE software works well with all of our other software in use with various departments. A lot of people think that this is a very easy process, but once you get the software, you have to make sure that it blends in with everything else, and it's not necessarily as easy as we think, is it, Thomas? Never is. Randy Cunningham is our Director of Inspections, and Randy's going to tell you how One Stop Shop is working so far. Randy, please come up.
Thank you, Mayor. Number one, let me thank you, because you took our vision and gave us what we needed to make all this function. So far, we're into it about a month now. We typically get somewhere between 30 and 35 new projects. So far in the last month, we've had 17 that have been submitted electronically. So a little better than half of what we typically get. 3 or 4 of those have already been permitted out, going through the cycle. Everything is working smoothly. We have no negatives, nothing but positive feedback thus far. And we owe all that to everybody standing back here. We have engineering department, we've had natural resources, planning, zoning, IT especially. Everybody that's been a part of this has made this what it is today, and we're really excited. This is a big day for us.
Good. Great. Thank you, Randy. Bill, come up here. Yeah. This is Bill Steiner. He's with our IT department. He doesn't expect to be called up here today. But this is really something that's exciting because, I mean, this is our departments working together. This is inspections, working with planning, working with engineering, working with IT, who has to put it all together and make sure that all those little programs that we have, the modules, blend together. And Bill, tell us about what IT has had to do to get through this process, and really I want you to give a shout out to your people, what a great job they're doing.
Primarily it was these people. There was a number of people in our department that put in on this. I think the big win was the way all our departments work together on this, Mayor, and we've leveraged technology for the good of the customers out there, and we're proud of it.
Good, great, thank you. And Marie Bostic has helped shepherd this thing through. Marie, do you have anything to say? Well, you're good, okay. You know, there's so many companies out there that are going to benefit from this. And finally, just the general citizen will benefit from this because this makes our processes just a little bit easier. We can now submit everything long distance, and this means the only time that you have to come to City Hall is when you have to come pick up your permit. You know, the benefits of one-stop shop are many, and the program comes at an important juncture in the city of Huntsville because we've got growth. And that demand for growth means that development is happening in our community. And with the demand for development up, we have to make sure that we as a community can meet those demands. Inspection department issues on average 1,400 permits a month, and they issued 16,500 permits in 2012. Engineering department managed 208 contracts last year, valuing more than $100 million when you start looking across the board at how many dollars that they were managing in there. And the planning department approved more housing lots during the month of May than were approved in 2012, and last year saw a 70% increase in the residential building permits. That means that we're growing, and the growth means that we have to be able to accommodate that growth. More information is available in the annual Huntsville Development Review for 2012. I think you all have a copy, or if you don't, there are copies back there. And here to tell us a little bit about that development review is Connie Graham, our city's demographer in our planning department. Connie?
Thank you, Mayor.
Please tell us about it.
The growth and development is tracked through the Huntsville Development Review, and the review is a collection of construction and real estate data. It's published annually by our long-range planning staff, and I'd like to introduce to you today James Vandiver, who joined our team last year, and he's now project leader of the Huntsville Development Review. In 1983, our staff started collecting the data and first published the review, and it's used by so many in the city of Huntsville as well as others in the United States. We have universities, hospitals, our schools, our police and fire, our Recs department, realtors and bankers and local developers, as well as those from the general public that use the information from the development review. Data for the report is gathered from city records and planning, zoning, inspection, as well as the North Alabama Multiple Listing Service. The data allows us to see where our growth is occurring and to plan for our future. And it allows us to make comparisons to other areas that are in our state as well as the U.S. And since the recession, development has slowly picked up, and we've anticipated that in 2013 this increase will continue. James and I would be happy to stick around after the press conference and talk with you guys if you have any questions about the review. I'll say one more time that you can find it at huntsvilleal.gov/planning/development review. Thank you.
Good. Thank you, Connie. I also like to recognize we have here our Director of Urban Development, Shane Davis. Shane, do you have anything to say? No, sir. Okay, and Dennis Madsen's here, who is our long-range urban planner. You know, the takeaways out of today are that we're growing, and with growth comes more demand. Last month, we started getting calls about people trying to get inspections off so that they could get their certificate of occupancy. And I called Randy. I said, Randy, what's going on? I never have these kind of calls. And Randy says, well, we generally have 250 to 300 permits a month. And last month we had 450, which shows that we are having increased demand, that we're having increased growth in our city. And he said in this month, and it was the third day of the month, we've already got $180,000 worth of permits in, where we normally have $300,000 worth of permits in that month. So growth is happening out there, and our job in the city is to use our technology so that we can better take care of that growth, and as that growth happens, that we can make it easy for our citizens to work with us. And that's what we're talking about today. So thank you for coming out there. Anybody else got anything? Jane, anything else?
Good, sir.
Dennis?
Thank you.
All right. Thank y'all for coming out.